Tech 2 haulers are no joke, and even in this video you're going to get a general fit as well as how to do level 4 hauling missions so you can have some nice low impact ISK per hour. Ladies and gentlemen, name is Loru, digital advertiser, Eve enjoyer for the better part of 10 years now, and this is our Viator fit. You're coming in from our how to do best hauling fits video. We just put it out. Thank you for checking that out. Here is the Viator fit as promised. Okay, so again, the goal of this fit is to give you a general how-to on the Viator and also how to do level 4 hauling missions. So let's just dive in. Let's not waste any more time. We're going to start at the top. Covert Ops Cloak you need on the Viator. It's one of the purposes of the Viator. Interdiction Nullifier to stop those bubbles. I don't really see, if any at all, bubbles in high sec, but I do take this into some dangerous places, wormhole, null, all that kind of stuff, and this is necessary when you got a gate or a hole being camped. Make sure you don't die to those little silly things. Okay, thank you. And Microwarpdrive for the mid. This is a cheap Microwarpdrive. You don't need an expensive Microwarpdrive. It's only on there so you can do the Microwarpdrive and Cloak Trick, where you align yourself, press them both in a certain way so that you instant warp out of there. I'm going to show you how to do that later in the video if you don't know how, okay? We got some light tank on there with a large shield extender and a Republic Fleet medium shield. Why the faction shield? Because with my skills, I had to get something there that could fit my CPU and my power grid, all that stuff. So this gives me enough tank while still being able to fit on the ship, and it's still worth the money. Hey, you're an expensive ship. You're probably going to be hauling some expensive gear. You might as well get this on there, okay? For the lows, this is where stuff gets interesting, and this is kind of where your personal thinking is going to begin. I like to do a damage control because we have nice tank on here ready. It's going to discourage some of those cruiser gankers. Be warned, I got ganked on the ship, a kill whale somewhere. I bought the ship, started flying the ship. The day I bought it, 2 Hurricanes, which I believe are battleships, I think, ganked me outside of Jeddah. We're going to go into some tips in a future video of how to never ever get ganked, so be sure to sub for that. What this means is that you got to make sure, if you're doing some tank, you got to understand you're never ever immune to damage, never ever immune to being killed. Any tank is just going to discourage, but not going to stop people from taking you out. Okay, so I like to discourage. All right. Next thing is the Inertial Stabilizer II. We're not going to get a sub 2 second align time unless we really sacrifice a lot of the other modules, rigs, and lows. So I'm not really trying to push for a sub 2 second align. Again, with the Covert Ops Cloak, you don't necessarily need that, because the point of a sub 2 second align is to get and warp out before the server tick hits. Because you have the Covert Ops Cloak, you can be cloaked before the server tick hits anyway. So many big words in Eve, I swear to goodness, you know, so sheesh. So this is just in there to help your align time get down to 4 seconds. Without this on there, your align time is 5.5 seconds. A second and a half is pretty awesome. And since we're going to be doing a lot of taxiing from A to B, that's a second and a half every time you warp. That adds up. So we're going to go down to 4 seconds with that. Finally, we have an expanded Cargohold II. This is pretty obvious, but without this expanded Cargohold, we do go to 4,500 M3. A small tip, you are going to be bringing an expanded Cargohold II in your inventory just in case, because some of these level 4s, some of the hauling level 4s are going to give you more than you can chew, more than you can carry when you accept it. And I'm going to show you why that's important to carry with you. But let's say you have that with you and, oh, it's too much. You can always slap one in. It goes up to 7,300. Okay. I like to use the damage control there as a base because, again, I use this to go back and forth from Jeddah, all that stuff. So then we have a medium EM shield reinforcer. This is to close the EM hole. You got weak EM shields, my friends. You get 13% with this on. It goes up 31%. Fantastic. Incredible. Okay, so thank you very much. This will probably be less depending on your skills. It's okay. Still close the EM hole. Finally, we've got the Hyperspatial Velocity Optimizer 2. Goodness gracious. This is going to be primarily to help continue forward the Viator's roll bonus, okay? Viator gets a bonus to warp speed and warp acceleration, all right? With this on, you go 9 AU, which is as much as most interceptors at a base level. That's incredible. Without this, you go 7.2, okay? So that's still a very fast warp speed, but I want to put this on there because the main time sink when you're taxiing, when you're doing these hauling missions, when you're just hauling in general, is warping. Your main time sink is when you're going from point A to point, and again, you know, it's just going to keep happening. So it's like the moon, it keeps happening. Let me know if you know what that's from. I would love to know, you know what I'm saying? So 9 AU it is. You can push this higher. You can actually get in the low slot, you can get some of these warp accelerators if you would like. Let's say we want to take out the damage control, sure. Because the Viator gets a percentage increase, even the cheap one, which has a warp speed increase of 0.2 in the Viator, takes us up 0.3. 3 because, again, the Viator's roll bonus has a percentage increase. Okay, so just something to think about there. Okay, that's the general fit for the Viator. I'm going to show you some how-tos now, how we do level 4s. But before we dive in, this is the secret call-out section of the video. We recently have a live stream that was on last Friday for our members. We just got our YouTube partnership a couple weeks ago and our join button. So if you want to support the stream, definitely check that out. And I want to know if you agree with this vid, if you disagree with this vid, hashtag secret call-out in the comments. If nothing else, I just want to know that y'all are down there. You're watching a Loru gaming video this far in. I want to know who you are. I want to say hi to you. So please go comment hashtag secret callout questions. I'll read them all, especially if you're a member. If you don't know how YouTube works, members get their own box in my back end. So I'm trying to prioritize, and I will prioritize all the YouTube members. So thank you again. Let's dive back into the video. Okay, so here's how you get your level 4 hauling missions. Okay, you're going to come into your mission area here. You're going to go to Eve Neocom, go to Agency. Okay, Agency, pull it up. I'm just going to go from the top here so y'all can see it. You're going to go to Agents and Missions, Agent Finder. Then you're going to go to Distribution. You might see a different screen. Just click Distribution. Highest available current system. This is fine, but if you're new to the hauling stuff, I'm going to do level 4s because I'm really looking for level 4 missions. That's where the money is. We see some in our current system. These are the agents that you're going to get these kind of missions for. Now, why do hauling level 4s? Hauling level 4s are not as high ISK to our reward, but they are low impact. I have a lot of day job stuff to do. I got a lot of stuff going on. I don't necessarily want to be doing level 4s, high PvP scenarios, exploration. Right now is the Crimson Harvest event. There's a bunch of ganking involved. I don't really want to deal with that necessarily. So this is a nice chill day. Think of it as strip mining in Minecraft, you know? After a long day of work, you just come back and, looking for some diamonds. I'm looking for some ISK. That's all this is, okay? So we're going to start a conversation with our lad here, okay? He's like, hey, you got to come by my station. We're going to set our destination and we're going to undock, right? I already got everything I need. I'm going to meet you at the station. We'll see you in just a sec. Okay, we are in the station, just pulled in. We see our distribution boy right here. We're going to start our conversation with him. We're going to request a mission, and we see it takes 4,800 cargo space. We're going to accept. Our drop-off location is this far. That's really freaking close. This is what I'm talking about. Some of these missions are super close. Make sure when you accept, you take the stuff, put it into your thing. I can't believe how many times I've undocked without remembering the stuff I'm supposed to be hauling. So this station that we're about to go to is extremely close. So this is hilarious. We just get a casual 480,000 ISK as well as some loyalty points we can spend very, very quick. So we've already set our destination. We're going to target it, click it. If you want our overview, that's in a video that we put out recently. You can copy the overview that we have. Go check that out. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, so we're going to warp to this, and look how fast we're going right now. Make sure you activate your Covert Ops cloak when you're doing this. Look how fast this is. We're already at the freaking gate. It's amazing. It's fantastic. I'm going to show you after we get out of the gate how to do the Align Microwarpdrive cloak trick, and that way, because if you don't know what this is especially useful for when you're in low sec. And we've got some potential gankers on the gate. This is what happens, especially in this, this Crimson Harvest event. There's a bunch of gankers around with those destroyers. Make sure you keep an eye on your D-scan and your overlay to be sure nothing's going to poke you. Okay, so let's say you just warped into a new gate and you're cloaked. Let's not panic. On the top left corner, you're going to see a jump cloak timer. You got about a minute to kind of decide where you're going to go. Okay, so here's how you do this trick. Feel free to rewind and pause this if you have to. Good luck to this orca. Good God, good luck to this orca. Okay, you're going to align. As you align, press Cloak Microwarpdrive. You're going to untap the Microwarpdrive. As the Microwarpdrive's done, you're going to uncloak jump. Feel free to rewind if you have to do it again. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to align, Cloak Microwarpdrive. You can see that the Microwarpdrive is activated. We're going to undo the Microwarpdrive. We are cloaked. Now, as the Microwarpdrive's done, we're going to press uncloak and press dock. This means that we should immediately push forward cloaked in that moment. I'm sorry, at maximum warp speed in that moment. Now, you don't have to undo the cloak because you're in a Viator, okay? Most ships only can use the improved cloaking device, so you will have to undo your cloak. In the Viator, you can just keep on being cloaked and go forward. I wanted to show you both examples just in case you didn't know that exists. Okay, the reason you do that is because the Microwarpdrive pushes your speed up and your signature radius up in such a way that when you come out of the Microwarpdrive, when your module stops being active, you will be at maximum, the minimum warp velocity. Sure, you're ready to warp. That's what it is. That's what it is. So with that said, we're in the station. Let's start the conversation. Boom. Okay, and we complete and we just get some easy money. If you get a mission that is like 5 or 6 or 10 jumps away, and you complete it. Should you go back to your home station and then start another covert ops mission? I'm sorry, another hauling level 4? No. No, you should not. You're going to use, and hopefully we get to illustrate this to you, you're going to use the agency. We're good. Everything's fine. Just a little bit of scary stuff in the where we're jumping. This is why the covert ops cloak is necessary. Thank you kindly. You're going to use the agency to be able to find other places you can get missions from when you're in a new area. Let me show you what I mean in just a moment. Okay, so we're back here. We're going to set destination again to our boy. I highly recommend that you save the agents into your people and places folder. That way you can just snap to them. Now, I'm not 100% sure that I have this guy or this station saved, whatever, so we should be good to go. Let's see what mission this agent gives us and if it's far away, and then I can illustrate to you the example that I was just talking about. I'll be back in just a sec. Okay, perfect. We're back at our station. We've got a hauling mission that is a cool 5 jumps away. Okay, and look at this. The total capacity of the cargo is 7,200 units. You only got this. That's okay. We're going to accept it anyway because we bring our expanded cargo hold unit with us. So I'm actually, since we're in high sec, I'm going to take off the damage control. Scary, I know, but I want to get there fast instead of getting there safe. You know what I'm saying? You could do whichever one you want. We're going to take those 2, slap them in. Because we carry an extra expanded cargo hold with us, we can on the fly modify our hauler and get this done. That was a really good example of that. So now we are 5 jumps away. So while we're taxiing, let me explain this to you a little bit better. When we get to Friggy, wherever the heck we're going. I don't know how to pronounce these places. Do you? Let me know. So when we get to the place we're going to, instead of dropping off the stuff, completing the mission, and then coming back to this station, in Friggy, we're going to request a new hauling mission. You can use, let me make sure my covert ops cloak is on. Thank you. We can use the agency. Again, the current system location, or within 2 jumps even, is what I typically do, is going to show us all available level 4 hauling missions wherever we are dynamically. Okay, so this means you can literally go on a truck route. I've gone into deep Galente space. I've gone into deep Amar space with this. You just go. You just drive. This is, and I've tested this. Which one is the better ISK per hour? This one is the better ISK per hour. You got 2 options really, okay? You can either, option 1 is you can accept a mission, go where it takes you, come back to your home station, and just do that. This is going to give you more consistent loyalty points if that's kind of where you're going for. That's okay. Not necessarily a bad thing, but I like to get raw ISK per hour. That's really what we're going after this. Option 2 is you accept a mission, you go to point B. At point B, you accept a different hauling mission, you go to point C, you accept a different hauling mission, go to point D. See what I'm saying? You keep on going away and just into the aether, just exploring New Eden. You just keep on going, okay? There isn't a right or wrong answer in my opinion. I found higher ISK per hour, raw ISK, in option B. So that's what I'm talking about there, okay? And as you can see, when we're going, we are not on autopilot. Let me make this very clear. Never ever autopilot in a Viator. You are a squishy ship. You do not want to autopilot. You will not insta-jump. You will spawn in far away from the gate and then take 10 seconds-ish, whatever it is, to taxi over. It's not a good idea. Make sure you're constantly clicking your warp to, your jump to, warp within 0, all that kind of stuff. And you'll notice, as I warp, here's what I do. I click warp and I immediately click cloak. That way, the server tick is there, I'm warping, I'm cloaked, we are ready to go. Nobody's going to be able to poke us, no problem whatsoever, okay? The other thing you got to do when you're doing these hauling level 4s is you got to watch who's following you. If somebody's following you in your overview, look for the destroyers, look for the gank positive ships, look for the kinds of alliances and corporations that are ganking. Look in your local if you see somebody a little bit sketchy, if you see somebody that has a lower security rate, a negative security rate, that's been playing a long time. That's typically how I do it. Then kind of just be aware. Maybe don't jump straight to the gate. Maybe jump from your gate to a planet to the gate. That way you kind of throw them off right again. You're slippery. Use that. Don't go to the obvious route, especially if you're in a system that has only 1 in and out. Like, so this one has 2 potential in and outs, so people don't necessarily know where we're going. But if I'm going back to this one and I think I'm getting followed, I'm going one way. So maybe go to the sun or a planet or two, and just bounce around. Again, since you're covert ops, you can just go to 1, hang out, wait for them to leave, call it a day. If you're spooked, listen to your gut, chat, okay? Listen to your gut. If you're spooked, don't worry about it. Just always follow your nose. Okay. The final thing you want to do is use your D-scan. That's this right here. If you don't know how to use your D-scan, we have an entire video dedicated to this. Go check that out. Okay. So we're coming up on our station. As you can see, the warp speed of this, what did we do this for? 5 minutes? 5 jumps in a couple minutes. This is easy peasy with that 9 AU, and the expanded cargo hold the double expanded cargo hold let us very quickly move our cargo space to a more effective area zone. Fantastic stuff. Okay, let's see what we get inside of the station right now. Okay, we're in the station. We're going to start our conversation. We're going to complete it. An easy 600,000 ISK, no problemo. Really quick, just because we're going to swap our expand the cargo hold back with our damage control. Make sure you do this every time to make sure you get your tank. So notice, in this station, there's only a level 1 distributor available. So just like I said, we're going to come into our agency, okay? Agency, and you can just press the key binding for this. We're going to do level 4 within current system. There's only 1 person, but it is in current systems. Now, if I wanted to, I can just keep doing missions and just keep going off into the aether. Notice we're in a 0.5 system right now. The closer you are to low sec, the more likely you're going to go into low sec. Be aware, that's why we bring the Interdiction Nullifier. Okay, that's going to do it for this level 4 hauling guide. Make sure you go check out our best hauling fits video if you want to see more of the stuff. I can't tell you again, thank you for the 1,600 subscribes that we just hit, and that was the wrong vocal animation. I will not be stopped. I'm going to commit to it. Thank you very much for that. YouTube partners, 1,600 subs. YouTube members, the live stream we just did was incredible, so make sure you go to our Discord, check that out so you can know when all the events are happening. There's going to be a bunch of EVE videos popping up right now if you enjoy more EVE content. We'll see ya in the next video. Thanks.